Yahoo finances Alexis Christoforous, Sibile Marcellus, Scott Gamm, Alanna Petroff, Brian Sozzi, Alexis Keenan, Rick Newman, Dan Roberts, Brian Cheung Zack Guzman, and Jeanie Ahn discuss today's top stories. Today's topics include: China's economy grows at slowest pace since the financial crisis. Coca-Cola slots Brian Smith as COOTesla unveils lower-cost Model 3. Americans favor rewards credit cards. Creditcards.com $1.4 billion at stake in 2 mega lotteries. Legal issues come with any big lottery win. Saudis may blame top intelligence official for journalist's death. YouTuber experimenting with providing on-demand workers. RPT. Trump praises U.S. congressman who body-slammed reporter. American Express posts big beat in latest earnings report. PayPal posts big beat in latest earnings report. Ford hires Bryan Cranston for new build Ford Pro ad campaign. Apple opens pre-orders for iPhones. Or China's economic growth has slowed to its weakest quarterly pace in nearly a decade as a trade war with the U.S. and high levels of public debt take their toll, prompting a stock market sell-off across the country's exchanges. The central bank reported 6.5% growth in the third quarter, marking the lowest rate of expansion since the financial crisis in 2009 and falling marginally short of the 6.6% figure that was widely expected. Top economic officials in China put out rare public statements as the figures were released, to reassure investors of the country's stability and bolster confidence in the economy. Consumer spending in China has been falling, according to some economic data, putting pressure on the country's manufacturing industry. A clampdown on riskier lending has pushed up borrowing costs for companies, and infrastructure investment has also slowed. China's stock markets fell in response to the economic data. The Shanghai Composite Index fell 0.4%, while the CSI 300 Index of large companies dipped 0.2%. In Hong Kong, the Hang Seng Index edged 0.8% lower, while the Hong Kong China Enterprises Index lost 0.6%. Betty Wong, senior China economist at NZ in Hong Kong, said, "The 6.5% figure is definitely below our consensus expectations. Weakness is largely coming from the secondary industry, most notably manufacturing. We may review our fourth quarter forecasts." Jeremy Warner on Trump-China trade war. Senior officials in China attempted to calm jittery markets by issuing a rare coordinated response that included statements from central bank chief Ye Gang, the government's top economic advisor Liu He, and Liu Xiu, chairman of China Securities Regulatory Commission. Mr. Gang pledged support for private companies, including help with financing. Mr. Xiu said the commission would speed up approval for mergers and acquisitions. But investors and analysts will remain cautious about the state of China's economy, in light of the difficulties it faces. Looking ahead, economic outlook is not optimistic, with exports facing further headwinds as U.S. tariffs kick in and demand from emerging countries ebbs, said Newman, an analyst at Wabao Trust in Shanghai. China's trade war with the United States has escalated in recent months, with both countries slapping tit-for-tat tariffs on each other. Plans to resolve the dispute have stalled, with Washington imposing tariffs on $250 billion £192 billion of Chinese goods, putting pressure on China's already softening economy and weakening currency.